Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of Come On and Admit It. I am your host, Dominique Harris, and on today's episode, I would like to focus on women's rights and all that encompasses that. So, there's been a lot going on recently surrounding women's rights, more specifically our reproductive rights. If you have not heard, Trump originally mentioned some time ago that he's pro-life, he wants to overturn Roe v. Wade. And if you're not familiar with what Roe v. Wade is, it's basically ruled abortion to be legal in many instances. But back to Trump, he said he wanted to appoint a judge that is pro-life, and basically Roe v. Wade would be overturned immediately. Now, whether you're a woman or a man, but especially a woman, your blood is probably boiling like mine. I wanted to kind of look more into the topic and what would happen if Trump's plan actually went through. And I looked up the Center for Reproductive Rights, and they have a map that shows what would happen if Roe v. Wade were to be weakened or overturned in each state. So there are only 7 states that would have expanded access and abortion would still be legal, and they would have access to expand out. There are 15 states where abortion would remain legal. New Jersey is one of them. And the rest of the states, abortion may or may not remain legal, but the rest of the states, they would most likely overturn abortion, and it would not be legal for women at all. And for me personally, I also felt like this went hand in hand with the talk of defending Planned Parenthood, which would restrict access to a lot of things for women. And this is a direct attack on people who have lower income, they can't afford health care, and they need these basic necessities as well. And this would completely take it away from them. They wouldn't be able to get safe abortions. Birth control would also be restricted from them, which, in case you haven't noticed, helps a lot more than just preventing pregnancy, and that's what they think it's for, and that's not true at all. Also, it would take away cancer screenings and STD screenings, which every woman should have the right to. It just baffles me that women's rights is a debate right now. Why is this still up in the air? Literally, it is 2020, and I don't understand why men and people who are at high statuses that honestly really would never have to think about this or even feel like they have a say or an opinion on this. Every single woman is entitled to do whatever she wants to do with her body without courts interfering or anyone else interfering. It just doesn't make sense to me. And personally, I believe I'd be okay if this were to happen. I'm lucky to have health insurance and I live in New Jersey, but I think about other women that live in extremely conservative states, or they have lower income, or just any situation that would prohibit them from getting the access that they need. And that's what pisses me off. That's what makes me mad. I feel like the US is so individualistic that everyone's me. What do I want? What I want is what everyone else wants. And we cannot think like that. You need to think about everyone else. It's just not fair that some women, even right now, they have to think about what are they going to do if something happens in the future because of this. And whether you're pro-choice, pro-life, whatever you decide, what you want to do with your body is what you should do with your body. What you want to do should not project on somebody else, especially these people in powerful positions. They should leave their beliefs behind. And I know it may be hard because when you really, really believe in something, that's how you want it to be. But with an issue like this, it's just that needs to be left out of policy making, and we need to do better. Also, no man should get to tell a woman what she should do with her body. I don't know why this is still a thing. Literally, I don't get it. When men like Trump try to speak out on the issue, I goes in one ear out the other. Your opinion doesn't matter. You can't produce a baby. You don't carry it for 9 months. It's actually funny. Not too long ago at the university I attend, there was a club that had a Make Abortion Legal Again event, which in itself is a problem, in my opinion. The slogan ties back to so many different things involving Trump that just seem racist and wrong and closed-minded. But the event happened as one would expect. It caused a lot of upset and discomfort among the student body. So there was a club sent out an email, and they basically said the side that I agree with, I wasn't the best to have that event and tied to my university, whether it was or not, or that club marketed that way. It seemed as if it was tied to the school, and it was not good. But if the side I agree with gets to share their opinion, obviously the other side should as well. And another email was sent out to the student body, and I thought that was funny because as soon as I opened it, read that it was a man sharing his opinions, I didn't even want to read the email. Half the email had nothing to do with anything. I feel like you can have your say whether you agree with abortion or not, but when your say goes into making policies and restricting women, I don't think that should be a thing at all. And something that's like frustrating to me is that these politicians and people say they're pro-life, blah, blah, blah. But that only pertains to when a child is in the embryo, or that pertains to like a rich child, if we're being honest. Because as soon as that child is born, they won't care what happens to them. If you're pro-life, why does the Black Lives Matter movement piss you off? Why don't you do something about the children sitting in foster care or allow better education to everyone? It's not because you're pro-life. You're pro anything that's the straight white male in America. Honestly, that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. And it's extremely frustrating, but I know and I have faith that my generation, like, we're tired of it and we're going to be the ones to speak out on it and do better. And that is the only way that this country will continue to move forward in the right direction. Because right now it looks like we're backtracking. It honestly feels as if we are going back, and it can't happen. But these are my opinions on this topic. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you have more opinions on this topic, please let me know. I might do like a little bonus episode, bonus follow-up on other women's rights issues that are also persisting, and also kind of like a little bit of a double standard. But follow my podcast at Come On Admit It Podcast on Instagram, as well as Facebook. My DMs are always open. I enjoy feedback and opinions on the topics as well, or topics you want to hear me speak about in the future. Also, I am on Spotify, which is really, really cool. I'm not sure if you're listening from Spotify or Libsyn, but those are the two platforms I'm on, and being on Spotify is really awesome. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this week's episode. Stay tuned. I plan on posting Wednesdays, so there will be another episode next Wednesday. Thank you for listening. Bye.